Hello viewers, Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. It's Monday morning here in Australia. You would be getting through your weekend now. I hope it's been a good one. Of course, as we move into October, I wanted to have a look at Trump in the month of October, as I usually do at the start of each month. So we'll look at to Trump this week, which will be the 30th, moving into the 1st of October. Then we'll look at him on the 8th, the 15th, the week beginning 22nd, and of course the last week beginning the 29th. So we're crossing into November by a few days, as we are in September, but we'll look at those weeks. So we'll look at 5 weeks. Let's have a look at what October is going to be like for Trump. What's October going to be like for Trump? Of course, we have the unfolding impeachment inquiry, the unfolding scandal of his Ukrainian call, and everything associated with that. We have Giuliani coming out, throwing the State Department, which in other words is Mike Pompeo, under a bus, saying he was directed by the State Department. We have resignations of the envoy in Ukraine, Volker, I think. We have Barr coming out saying he was off the record, unconfirmed media sources. He was angry that he was mentioned in the phone call. Well, generally this is a very, very serious, somber, occasion when you've got a president doing what he's been doing. Now, I will update these readings on this particular matter during the week because it is so serious. But let's, for now, have a look at what's likely to come forward in October for Donald Trump. What is the month of October going to be like for him? Week beginning this week, moving through to week beginning the 29th. The 5 cards we'll draw. What is October going to be like for the Donald Trump? What is October going to be like for Donald Trump? Okay. All right, so this week we've got the Magician card. So we've had the clowns coming out trying to defend Donald Trump. We've had Kellyanne Conway, which she just sounds ridiculous. We've had Fox News, Chris Wallace go right after Stephen Miller. It was a joy to watch. And we've had Representative Jim Jordan looking quite comical on CNN. I think it was CNN. They're not able to defend this president. However, don't be lulled into a false sense of security. This is my card for the Republicans, and so I think that we haven't seen senior Republicans coming out other than Leningrad Lindsay and defending this president in great droves. In fact, Jeff Flake has said that he knows of 35 senators who, if there was an anonymous ballot, would vote to impeach Donald Trump. Without a doubt, the GOP are worried about losing in 2020, but for the individual senators losing their Senate ticket. All of that is a reality. So just as that is a reality, the Magician this week is behind the scenes working out how they're going to defend themselves. Let's have a look. So that's this week, the Magician card. It's also at another level actualizing things into reality. So what we see is Adam Schiff and others also bringing forward our wishes. A majority of 55%, according to the latest polls, want to see this president impeached. So there is this moving from an idea that has taken form, coming right through to making that reality. Week 1. So we've got really an equal focus on bringing through the impeachment inquiry, getting out more information. Schiff now says he wants to see the transcript of the Russian call and how Vladimir Putin figures in all of this. okay, which is where I think the heart of the matter is, or shall we say the betrayal of the matter is. But we've also got the Republicans, including Trump. Now, I had read a report that Corey Lewandowski is going to head Trump's impeachment team. If that's the case, where are the other Republicans, the heavy hitters, defending this president? Nevertheless, I see some heavy hitting Republicans here, so expect that this week. Okay, week 2, Trump is having his focus. There would be, at some level, Trump would understand that that the game could be up for him. And in week 2, he's got his eyes on his money. He's got his eyes on his independence and his financial resources. He's also got, I feel, there's an Ivanka Trump aspect to this card. I read the other day that New York is pressing ahead with their investigations. She's caught up in them for allegedly devaluing the Trump assets. And so I think that is around business fraud or alleged business fraud. Week 2, he's got his mind and his focus on his own business and his own money. Let's have a look at week 3. Oh, he's in retreat and he's wounded by week 3 of October, which would be the 15th, week beginning the 15th. Watch for that. Week beginning the 22nd, you've got more news coming out. Wow, more news, bombshell news coming out. You're going to get more information in week 22nd. Week beginning the 22nd. Let's have a look at the last week beginning 29th. There's financial loss or loss for Trump. This is really the gate shutting on him, the tide turning on him politically, because impeachment is a political process. He's going to sustain some losses. So that tells me that some Republicans could come out and disavow him in the last week of October. Let's get some clarity. So I'm using my Arcanum deck. That's ARC Arcanum ANUM deck, which is available on Amazon for the actual reading here. But I'm also going to clarify with Los Scarabeo Deluxe, Tarot Deluxe. So what I would like is just not to have to answer any questions about what decks I'm using, because I'm telling you what decks. I'll also put them in the drop-down menu. At the end of the reading, I'm going to be using the Energy Oracle cards just to pull three or more messages from Spirit for us. I like to end the readings with those cards. So let's drill down, bring the laptop down and drill down on these cards. Week 1, the Magician. What's the Magician doing there? Week 1. Week 1, the Magician. What's the Magician doing there? Week 1, the Magician. Donald Trump's October. Donald Trump's October. What's the Magician doing there? Donald Trump's October. Can you tell me more about the Magician, Spirit? Could you please tell me what the Magician is doing here? Week 1, that's this week. There's an infinity symbol at the top of his head that I'm being drawn to, showing that this is a very important week. As both, it's almost a tug of war. It's a fight now, and this infinity symbol reminds me of a balance, something coming back into balance, and it's going to do so through the force of lightning. So this is why the situation is so serious. So it could be the lightning strike here in relation to the impeachment inquiry for Trump. Could also be a fight back by the Republicans. Can you tell us, give us more clarity on the Magician, please? More clarity on the Magician. I do feel, this is the Democrats. Thank you, Spirit. For so long, the Magician has represented the power of the Republicans, but just before I drew that card, the Magician in this particular Arcanum deck is very young, and I feel if we look at who Trump has been sending out to represent him, they have been quite on the young side. Where are the heavy hitters, the senior members? I think Chuck Grassley had very little to say since the Trump's transcript and the whistleblower complaint have come out. There is a real recognition there that Trump is in real trouble this time, and there is a celebration coming now for Democratic voters in this week. The Four of Swords. This is a retreat. Again, the Republicans are stepping back a little bit. Those more senior Republicans, the Magician card is telling me that this week's shift will have the upper hand, and we've got death, the ending of Trump's presidency. Okay, so what is being coming into form this week is the impeachment inquiry, are the unseen forces that will create the ending of Trump's presidency. I hope that doesn't mean a literal death this week for somebody. I hope that's not the case, that we don't see someone senior pass away. I feel this is an ending of a cycle, an ending of Trump's presidency. So the Democrats are going to largely have it their own way this week. And as they set in motion what is needed to bring Trump's presidency to a close. Let's move to the week of the, the 8th, the Nine of Pentacles. Trump has his mind on his independence, his financial independence, his money. Could also be Ivanka Trump as well, coming into the frame through those various investigations. We shouldn't forget at any time that she could, and all the other Trump children and Trump himself via the Trump organisation, come under some kind of charge or indictment or, some legal jeopardy. But really, I feel week 2, 8, he's got his mind on his money and his financial resources and his independence as well. He could also be worried about the GOP support for him in this matter. Okay, can you tell us more about the Nine of Pentacles? The Nine of Pentacles, can you tell us more? What's the Nine of Pentacles doing here, Spirit? Can you tell us more? Okay, so I think Donald Trump is aware. We've got the Magician coming up again here. Magician, again, his mind on his finances, how he can actualize, this is around self-reliance. So how can he shore things up? He could even be, let's pull some more cards. Okay, loss. Okay, it's the loss of his finances. He's trying to work out how he can stop something from happening. This could even be his tax returns, but he finds out that he can't with this Hanged Man here. I feel the other aspect for this Nine of Pentacles could be how he has got his money. This could even be his some kind of financial information that he has been trying with the Magician, trying to stop coming forward. It actually comes forward here with the Three of Swords, and he's powerless to do anything about it. This could be Snowball. This is twice the Magician has appeared in this reading. The Magician usually is the Republicans. I'm feeling more and more that this is not just the Democrats. It's everybody else that wants to see the end of his alleged unlawful activities, alleged benefiting financially from the presidency himself. I think we heard today that 100,000 Ireland paid him 100,000 into his resort for his security detail, to feed his security detail who stayed at his resort. That's just a very, very minor matter. There are far more weightier matters here in relation to his finances. Magician appearing twice here, very powerful message, I feel, to show that all of this is now coming into reality, into view. It's what the last 3 years have been about. There is a divine connection or a spiritual aspect to this as well. There's a karmic aspect. What he sowed, he's now reaping. Okay, so he's worried about his finances. You could have more information coming out that he's trying to stop around his finances. Now, I'm going to the IRS whistleblower as well. That whistleblower has come forward to another committee, Democratic committee, who's keeping the information well and truly under wraps. There's something there that he is worried about or trying to stop coming forward to do with his finances, and he's unable to do so. Let's leave it there in week 2. Week 3, we've got retreat, wounded. He's mortally wounded. That would be the week beginning the 15th of October, the Four of Swords, a retreat in some way, a wounding, also needing to rest as well. So he could be, as he's trying to push through all this, you could see him, that's an illness card too. So you could see, more of the word salad, more of the incoherence. He could even cancel some appointments as well, because there is a need here to rest. There is an ill health aspect to this card as well as a retreat. Tell me more about the Four of Swords, Spirit. Tell me more about the Four of Swords. What's the Four of Swords doing here? Week beginning the 15th. Four of Swords for Donald Trump. What's it doing here? Can you tell me a little bit more about it? Four of Swords. Four of Swords. Okay, so fortunately, there's more news coming out with this Page of Cups. Now, the Page of Cups is also there in the fourth week beginning the 22nd. So this month is going to be characterised in the second half. This month generally, information, bombshells coming out one by one after another. The Ace of Wands, this is, for me, someone's going to have the upper hand, and it's not Donald Trump, it is the Democrats. And the Four of Cups suggesting that he's going to be disappointed. So I feel that he's going to lose a battle, or he's lost the battle in week 2, and he's having to retreat in week 3. He's not going to like it at all. Let's have a look at the Page of Cups in week beginning the 22nd. It's not a good month. The magicians are stacked against him this time, and after that it's just disappointment and loss there, and more news coming out. This thing has a momentum of its own now. 22nd, Page of Cups. 22nd, another offer that he's made to somebody. Okay, so we've got the Temperance. This is the rebalancing that I talked about with the Libra new moon. This is why we're getting all this information in the way that we are, because there is a karmic aspect to this. We are experiencing a rebalancing. Balance. Okay, balance. Yep, and we've got a loss here again. He's got a lot of losses. He's got the Four of Cups here, disappointment. Then he's got the Eight of Cups, another loss. So I feel that he's going to again try and get the upper hand, try and stop something coming out, but he won't be able to. Let's keep going. Okay, so we've got the Temperance card clarifying the Eight of Cups, and we've got the Queen of Cups. Yeah, definitely something is coming out. It's clarifying the Page of Cups. This is surprise news, but it's also an inevitability here with this Queen of Cups that it is coming out. So it's a month of revelations. Trump trying to hide stuff and not being able to. Now, week beginning the 29th, we've got Five of Pentacles. It is a monetary loss for Trump in some way. It's being out in the cold, locked out in the cold. What is this? One of my feelings is that after this information comes out, it's going to be more and more difficult for the GOP to stand beside Trump. What's going on here with this Five of Pentacles being locked out? Some kind of loss here, poverty. He could have lose in some way, losing money. What's going on here? Five of Pentacles. What's going on here? Big time. This last week, 29th, he's really going to have a huge loss with that Tower card. We've got another whistleblower here with this Page of Swords. We've got a whistleblower bringing money out around his bringing information out around his money, and we've got the Four of Pentacles, insecurity, trying to keep the information under wraps. Wow, watch for that week beginning the 29th. That is huge. Now, tarot with timelines, give or take a week, give or take a few days. The spirit isn't up. Spirit isn't in the ether with a calendar saying, on this date this will happen. So be flexible. But around that last week, there is a huge loss for Donald Trump, and it is a tower moment. He's had many, but it is a huge tower moment for him. Either we've got another whistleblower coming out and releasing more damaging information, or this could even be the IRS whistleblower. We're getting in that final week there on the 29th, we're getting some fairly huge information. He's going to be really insecure. So what I want to do is just ask, how is he likely as a president to react to all of this? October is a damning month for him. How is he likely to react? I'll use the Los Scarabeo Tarot Deluxe card. Or what was at the base of that pack was the Devil and reevaluation of our support for someone like Donald Trump. Of course, as I keep saying, we've hit the tipping point now where we're having a rebalance and we're drawing our lines in the sand. So when you've made this intention fairly clear within yourself, that's why he's not getting any traction. When he brings forward this gaslighting or this repetitive nonsense that he does, he's unable to get the traction with his audience that he used to get. Now, I'm not talking about the cult of Trump. I'm talking about the majority. It's unraveling very, very quickly with those polls jumping 12 points, I think, in a very short time. Majority now wanting him impeached. He's struggling now to control the narrative. So what's he likely to do with all this loss for him? No political wins. What's Trump likely to do? Is he's going to be stable throughout October, or are we just going to see more of an unraveling, which is what I'm feeling? The word salad, the incoherence, the exhaustion, ill health. What's Trump likely to do in October as these bombshells keep hitting him one after the next after the next? What's he likely to do? Is he going to be stable enough to govern? Is he being checked upon? Is he being managed? Okay, so we've got the star, the hope, the guiding light. So to keep your thoughts positive, don't go down that rabbit hole of fear. There is enough structures in place to keep things on track. Challenged by the Ten of Wands. Okay, so almost like he's losing hope as well. It's a real struggle for him in the month of October. However, the foundation of the reading is on who are loyal to him, who are his allies, who can he trust. We've got the Two of Swords in the past position, suggesting that there are heavy forces bearing down on Donald Trump. We've got an abuse of power. So, of course, in October, as he becomes cornered, he's going to lash out. He's going to lash out at people. I do believe that will be the whistleblower. It will be Adam Schiff and the Democrats. It will be anyone else that comes out against him. Well, what's he going to do is send a tweet out, yada, yada. Okay, we've got the Sun card here in Donald Trump's immediate future. In this particular pack, he's carrying a sword, so I feel this is linking to this abuse of power. He will come out fighting despite everything, despite him being an uphill battle for him. Right now, he's combining with his allies within the Republican Party to see if they can fix what is going on at the moment. However, we've got this Page of Pentacles coming through again. And I do believe these are the whistleblowers. It's also around his money. So that will be uppermost, trying to stop those financials from coming out. He is weary, like everybody else. He's weary. And we've got the Ace of Pentacles. It's on his money. Okay, so that's interesting. Yeah. trying to stop. The truth is going to come out around his money. I think that's where the financials, more information on how he's allegedly gained from the presidency. The truth is coming out. There are new starts. More as the polls are updated, more and more polls are going to show the lack of support. However, in between all of that is his attempt again to fight back. We have the Nine of Cups. Lots of information coming out. He's reevaluating, and so are the GOP. And we've got the Knight of Wands. This is this action that the Democrats are taking now, and the support they're getting for it to keep this president in check. So. Keep your thoughts positive. Don't go down that rabbit hole about, he's going to, institute martial law. He's not able to do that, basically. But he is going to fight back. He is going to fight back this month, but he's not going to be successful because there's just so much coming out in October. So much. All right, let's have a look at with our energy cards, energy oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. Let's have a look at three cards. Three messages for us above the fray. If we can get above the fray, the political fray, the changes that are coming politically. Politics is a reflection of what's inside of us and our wishes and how we want to govern, because politicians represent us. It's not they govern us. It's we put them in power to represent us. So with all this political change going on, what are the messages from Spirit that we need to be aware of? What are the messages from Spirit? Okay. Watch for deceit. This is a lesson for us, and I talked about leadership and change of leadership. If you throw your lot in with someone who has been deceitful in the past, you're going to learn a lesson. So again, who do you want to govern you? There are lessons that we're learning. We are protected to a certain extent. Archangel Michael is the angel for protection. I do call upon Archangel Michael before I start readings just to have my back. And Archangel Michael is associated with the base chakra, which of course is how we interact with society, with community, with the world. We're learning some pretty heavy lessons. Basically, is what we're seeing, and hostilities. The negative aspect of this card is that it is a hostile environment that politically at the moment. But this querent in this card is also fighting back. And because it is the number 26, we're moving again in the right direction, where the fight back is actually gaining traction. We're joining together, and there is the beginnings of a healing here. What is at the base? The woman holding a heart. That's interesting. I do feel that with leaders like Pelosi and others, and I'm getting a draw. I will do a reading on Greta Thunberg. The feminine rising, the women that we saw elected in the midterms, there's a loss and a betrayal going on, but on the other hand, there is also a greater desire for security, for stability, for doing things the right way, not the wrong way. 44 is a pretty powerful number. We've got rebuilding foundations, an element of rebuilding foundations, and the thinking woman. So, slowing down and actually thinking about things, understanding that. Understanding the lessons that we've been going through, and really putting some fairly rigorous thought around it. I get a real draw to people like Elizabeth Warren when I when I pull cards like that. And our final card is the Sun, number 1. So understanding that we are going through toward a new cycle. So I'll leave that there for the month of October. Trump in the month of October, bang, 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 more stuff is coming out. Expect some more whistleblowers to come forward as well, and expect him to lose a fight around his financials in the month of October, perhaps, or lose something, there's a loss there in relation to his finances, or more information coming out that he's been trying to keep back regarding some kind of potential alleged violation, even more emoluments news coming out. A lot of cases before the courts, a lot of cases being investigated. Any one of them can add to the melee that we find ourselves in at this point in time, but it's a tough month for Donald Trump, a tough month as the rebalancing occurs, as we start and head toward a new cycle with that Sun card. Okay, I'll leave it there. Thank you for tuning in. Bye for now.